Hey folks, today we're going to talk about surface area. And what does it mean? Okay, let's take a look at, we've got two shapes here, 3D shapes. This is a rectangular prism and a triangular prism. Alright, let's just focus on this guy to start. Now, before we look at the 3D shape, I want you all to tell me if I gave you some shapes like this, rectangles, forgive the squiggly lines, and let's say I said that the dimensions of these were 6 meters and 15 meters, and this one was 6 meters and 4 meters. Okay, and I'm going to throw one more rectangle in here. Looks a little bit skinnier. Something like this. Okay, so essentially it's 3 rectangles. Okay, and these are the dimensions of them. So I have this guy. You know what? Let me change this a tiny bit just to make it seem more like it's 4. There we go. Now we're in business. Okay. So I've got these 3 rectangles. This one, and this one. Now, if I asked you to find the area of these rectangles, we just multiply the horizontal by the vertical. The horizontal by the vertical, the horizontal by the vertical. So the area of this one is 24 meters squared. The area of this one is 60 meters squared. And the area of this one is 80 meters squared. Okay? So 3 rectangles, find the area, horizontal by vertical, and we get the areas, 24, 60, and 80. Now, surface area is when we're finding the area of a 3D shape, like these guys over here. Okay? So basically it's saying if I had this piece of, I don't know, call it a present or a block of wood or something, and you want to completely wrap it in wrapping paper, you would need to have the amount of paper that would cover each of the 6 sides, the front and the back, the 2 sides, the top, and the bottom. Okay? But these shapes that are the top, bottom, sides, front, and back are just these rectangles. Okay? But you'll notice we know that this shape has 6 sides to it. Front, back, top, bottom, left, right. But they're made up of these 3 rectangles. Now, there's 2 of each. These are the sides. Okay? 4 by 6. Here, let me label the picture over here so it's a little bit more clear. So this side is 15 meters. This dimension here is 4 meters, and the height of it is 6 meters. So all we have to cover this rectangular prism is 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. These are the sides. So I have 24 meters squared times 2. This is the bottom and the top, which is 60 meters squared times by 2, because the top and the bottom. And this one is the front and back, 15 by 6. So I have 80 times 2, which is 160. So let me just write that down. So this one is the sides. This one is the top and bottom. And this one here is the front and back. So we have this times 2, top and bottom by 2, and the sides by 2. So the total surface area, in other words, if I wanted to cover this shape with wrapping paper, how much paper would I need to completely cover it? It's going to be 24 times 2 plus 60 times 2 plus 80 times 2. And those numbers are, we got 48, we got 120, and we got 160. And these are all meters squared because we're talking about area. So when we add these three numbers up, the total surface area is, let's do some number here, 280, so 328 meters squared. And that is the surface area of this shape. So when we're finding the surface area of a 3D shape, it's just the combination or the addition of the separate sides added up. That's all it is. Okay, let's take a look at this triangular prism. I'm going to throw some dimensions on it. So we'll notice the triangular prism has a front and a back, which are triangles. Then it has these three sides, this right-hand side, the left-hand side, and the bottom. Those three are rectangles, and the front and back are triangles. So I'm going to draw some measurements on there. So let's say the height of this is 4 centimeters, and this measurement along the bottom is, we'll say 5 centimeters, and this is 7 centimeters on the back, and let's do, let's say this is, that's 5, let's say it's 5 centimeters all around. So let me color it so you guys can see. So this is 5 centimeters. This is 7 centimeters. This is 5 centimeters here. And I think that's all we need. Yes. Okay, now, the surface area of this we're going to find by adding the area of this triangle, the back triangle, and the three rectangles, this side here, the left side, and the bottom. And we can find that very easily, okay? All we have to do is find their individual areas. So, the area of this triangle and the area of the rectangles. So, to find the area of a triangle, we go base times height, or horizontal by vertical. 5 times 4 is 20, and then with triangles we always divide by 2. So 5 times 4 is 20, divided by 2 is 10. So we have 10 centimeters squared. That's just for one of the triangles. But we have two, this one and the one at the back. So we're going to take this measurement and we're going to multiply it by 2 for the front and back, or the, depending on how you're looking at it, just this triangle and this one. So if this is 10 together, they're going to give us 20 centimeters squared. So 20 centimeters squared. Now all we have left is to find the three rectangles. So this rectangle here is 7 times 5. The one on the bottom is also 5 times 7, or 7 times 5. Oh, and I didn't mark the other side, but this little triangle here, let me shade it so you guys can see it. This triangle, or sorry, not triangle, that is definitely not a triangle, that is a rectangle. That sort of backside there is also 7 times 5. Okay, so we have three rectangles, and they're all 7 times 5, or 35 centimeters squared. And there are 3 of them. So this gives us 105 centimeters squared. So the only thing left to do, just like we did with the rectangular prism, is add them up. So in this case, this plus this. So the surface area, if we were to completely cover this thing with wrapping paper and we wanted to know how much we would need 20 plus 105, which gives us a surface area of 125 centimeters squared. Boom. That's it. So, surface area is if we take a shape and we want to know how much wrapping paper it would take to completely cover all, in this case, 6 sides, front, back, top, bottom, left, right, or in this case, in a triangular prism, front, back, the 2 sides, and the bottom. If you want to know how much wrapping paper it would take to cover these, you just find the individual areas of each of the sides. In this case, it was 6 rectangles. Okay, front and back were the same. The top and bottom were the same. And the 2 sides were the same. So we just found one of them times by 2. Here and here, here and here. And down here, the front and back were the same, triangles. Base times height divided by 2, because that's the formula to find the area of a triangle. 5 times 4 is 20, divided by 2 is 10. And then we times it by 2 for the back, so we got 20. And then the 2 sides in the bottom were just 5 times 7, which is 35. And there were 3 of them. So that gave us 105. Add them together, 125. Add these ones all together, 328, 28, and that is how you find the surface area of a rectangular prism and a triangular prism. Okay, hope that was helpful, and I'll give you guys some practice either later today or later in the week. Okay, bye for now.